Hey up me ducks, how are we doing? It's good to see everybody. Let's pop open the chat. Wow, so many people in. So let's do some hellos first and then we'll crack on. We have, first one in was Stephanie. Hello, Stephanie. And then Anna. Joanne, nice to see you. So looking forward to this loot and the big ticket item. Kind of known for the big ticket item, aren't I? Moran, hello. Rachel, hello. Twigolina is here. Feeding my soul. David. Tammy Pie, did I catch this early? Yes. So this was going to be tomorrow. But as you can see, I'm home. And I'll explain why. Oh, David's had rain. Wow. No sign of rain yet here. And we've had no rain in Glastonbury, which was amazing. Artemis. Cecilia, lovely to see you. And people are saying Simon and Sandra. Sandra is still in Glastonbury until the morning. I'm not. Cheryl, hello, Cheryl. And Dawn, hi, Dawn. Chris is here. Hi, Chris. And I've been thinking it's Thursday all day, and I set this to go live at 7:30. I've only been home like half an hour, thinking that'll be in time for, if Chris is going live. And all day I've been thinking it's Thursday, and even on the roads I'm thinking, traffic's quite heavy for a Thursday. Simon getting his haul out again. You know it. Apox and Linda and Carolina. We also have Alison and Luciv. Jack, hi Jack. It only feels like a few hours. Well, it was only a few hours ago. We were sat together having a drink. We have Lalilu, Amanda, Bella. Hi, Bella. Nice to see you. And we have Whispers of 3, and I think I've caught up. So, yes, I'm home. And Jack, you're probably thinking, what? We just left you. So, we had booked accommodation from Sunday to Wednesday, so 3 nights, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and that was going to be our lot. And then a month or two back, Sandra said, shall we try and get an extra night in the Georgian Pilgrim? So I was like, yeah, why not? So we paid the money and it was all booked. And then we kind of didn't think about having to get everything out for 10 o'clock. And on the booking it said 3, although we was in for, yes, confusing. We was in for, I don't need that side light on, do I? It's making a shaft of light. That's better. Anyway, after meeting up with Jack and Bella, Sandra had got an appointment, which was for a tattoo, and the tattooist was sick, and they didn't let her know, so that was a waste. Anyway, we went to Georgian Pilgrim, and they let us in, but it was like a catalogue of errors, and I got really kind of stressed and worried. So our room was right at the top on the second floor, and it's really tight spiral stairs going up, and I first of all panicked because there was nowhere to park at the accommodation, so I had to park in a public car park and keep putting coins in or topping up on an app, and then the app wouldn't work, and I'd got 12 minutes left and trying to extend my time. It is free overnight, so if you pay something like £9, that basically gets you 24 hours, because after 6 p.m. you don't pay. And this morning I left, my ticket ran out at 5 to 10, 9:55. And from 9 o'clock I started ferrying the suitcase, but I'd crammed loads in the suitcase and it was a ton. I could hardly lift it, literally I had to wheel it, but even that was struggling over cobbled streets and tarmac, and got it into the car, got all the other stuff in, and then Sandra put her stuff in, and then Sandra's case they let us put into, because that won't fit in the car, into a cage in the Georgian Pilgrim. So we went there after meeting Jack and Bella, and they let us into the room, and it was right at the top. It's amazing, huge room. But I thought, how am I going to get my case up these stairs? So I said, well, let's go and let's try. So went downstairs, and as I'm walking to the car park, by this time it's 2:10. No, 2:20. I realised that I didn't top up the parking, and it ran out at 9:55. So I don't know if I've got a fine or not. There was nothing on the windscreen, and Sandra spoke to her friends at Sons of Asgard, and they says normally you would get something on your windscreen, but because you pay on apps and people don't always display thing, so I was like, oh no, I'm gonna get a fine. Anyway, that was that. Got the case out, was trying to wheel it, and then I got to a curb and I couldn't hardly lift it, and I thought, there's no way I'm going to make it up this tight spiral staircase that goes up right to the top of the Georgian Pilgrim. It just wasn't going to happen. And then I thought, I'll have to put it back in the car. But then I wouldn't have slept a wink, because I'd have been worried about, there's a sign up where you pay that says valuables are left at the owner's risk in these cars. And I was like, I can't leave everything I've bought and all my suitcase and stuff. I had put a little overnight bag together in the car, in a public car park at the back of town all night. I just couldn't do it. And I was getting up at 5 anyway to head home before the traffic, because I left at 10:06 on Sunday and it only took 3 hours. So a Chinook helicopter. So I said to Sandra, would you mind if I went home tonight rather than first thing in the morning? And she was fine. She was meeting somebody for dinner tonight anyway, and she was all settled into her room. So I left. I got in the car and I came home, and I thought, that's such a shame. It is and it isn't, because all I would have got extra is a dinner tonight, which, we've had out every day, a dinner tonight and a bed, and then I'd have been getting up dead early and driving home anyway. So I just thought, well, let's just do it now. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything, because it's been an amazing 4 days that I've had there. I'd have had just a few extra hours in the evening, so I'd got everything I wanted to get and some, and so there was no reason really to. I wouldn't have slept a wink, and then I'd have been terrible driving home tomorrow, because I'd have been worried about the car. Sometimes what works best for you is the best choice. Yeah, and I'm home now, and I can relax, and I've got a couple of days at home to do some bits and bobs. So yeah, I'm happy about it. Anyway, I've got some elderflower pressing. Is it still very hot? Shall we do the Glastonbury Haul 2026? So, what to start off with? Let's start off with, this says the Hollow Hills bookshop. Oh, yes, all right, let's start off with what I got from Hollow Hills, because things that aren't in. So when I got there on the Sunday, I mentioned this last night in the live, I was meandering around. I had some breakfast. I was meandering around. Yes. And I thought, well, it was 10 o'clock on Sunday. I'll pop into a couple of shops while I'm waiting for Sandra to arrive. And within the first 10 minutes, I bought some decks. So in Hollow Hills, which is a bookshop, it used to be called the Speaking Tree, they've got some decks that are really discounted. They're brand new. They're not seconds. There is a shop now, a tarot shop, that's got seconds and new decks. But show us the good, Simon. I went in there and they have these really, really good decks. So you all know I'm on a bit of a Travis McHenry kick at the minute. And I saw in there, let's put these ones to one side for a second, this deck, which is the Oracle of Heaven and Hell. And this is really cool because it's a tray where both ends come off. This was £12. It was sealed. I couldn't wait. So when we got back to the accommodation, Sandra and I wanted to have a look at it. So I took the seal off. I mean, his books are great. And this is a great deck. Gilded. It's Rockpool. And you know Rockpool do some amazing decks now. And they publish most of his stuff. But the way this works is, and on the back it says it can be used as a tarot as well as an oracle, but I don't think there's 78 cards. I think there's 70, so I'll have to look at that. But yeah, it's beautiful gilding. These are the backs. Then on the front you have heaven, and then flip it and you have hell. And the artwork is pretty amazing for this deck. Look at that. So so I got that one. I had to buy the demo of Altered Tarot from New Renaissance. I got the indie of Heaven and Hell. It's pretty cool. Yeah, and how does it differ? Because I did see the indie version of Vlad Dracula, and that was black and white, I think. And then obviously I've got his new edition, but so that was the first. £12, brand new. I just love this. So you put the top on, and his boxes are great designs, aren't they? Oracle of Heaven and Hell. So I got that one, and then, which is going to be a surprise, I got this. So this is Travis McHenry's Egyptian Star Oracle, and this was £20, which I didn't think was bad either, because this looks to be a great set. Sandra and I watched, because she picked it up when we met and we went in there together afterwards. She was like, oh, can you pass one down for me? Because it was high up on the shelf. And I did. And then she says, oh, pop it back up. I'm not sure. The box is gorgeous. Look at this. We have this tray. You get a little amulet of the Eye of Horus. His book. Now, his book is fab from what I've seen in the reviews, because Travis McHenry puts in the research. So he went to Egypt, just like he went to Romania when he did Vlad Dracula. And yeah, it's a great little book. And then you've got the cards. These ones are gold gilded. Now, Sandra was really surprised, because she was like, it's Egyptian, you don't like Egyptian art, but these are from actual engravings. And I thought, well, you know, what I do like is that, you know, number one, new beginnings and jubilation. Number two, development and growth. So, fits in with numerology as well, doesn't it? I have that Egyptian jack, so great. Hi, Marilyn. What did Sandra say again when you got that? She was like, what? You're going to hate it. I was like, okay. Well, yeah, and it's a little metal Eye of Horus. I suppose it's a pendant, isn't it? It's got a loop on the top, so you could wear that. I can't get it back in its thing now. Not sure. There we are. In. So yeah, so the Egyptian Star Oracle for £20. And if ever you're in Glastonbury, do check out Hollow Hills because they've got some great decks at great prices. So there's that. And then I picked up his two little decks of Demon of the Day, $9.99, and Angel of the Day. So I thought, well, they're pretty cool. Look at that glistening. And they're by Rockpool as well. So I got them. The other decks that I got in that shop that I mentioned, I forget what it's called. Does it say on the back? Yes, it does. Tarot Plus. I got the Journey to Enlightenment Tarot. Now, I set a video to drop on Sunday night, I think. The first night I was there. And, hi, Paul. Have you ever seen Travis's Bosch deck? Yes, I've got it. I've got the Bosch deck. I love it. I did a video of 5 underestimated decks, and somebody left a comment saying, I totally get what you're talking about. I think an underestimated or underrated deck is the Journey to Enlightenment Tarot. So when I went into the shop, you got it in TK Maxx. Who knew TK Maxx did decks? Hello, Kathy. Nice to see you. And Niels, hello. I didn't expect you today. I didn't expect me today. And Ellen, hello. Lovely to see everyone. It was opened and it was a used copy. So she marked it at £18. I checked the deck while Sandra was talking to her, and all the cards are there. I don't know how I'll get on with it, but I'm willing to give it a try. It is kind of busy. Lovely cardstock though. And it's collagey, so two things that I don't normally go for, but there is something about it that appeals to me. I love the strength card. Look at that, those pinks. It's the first and only deck I've ever seen in TK Maxx. It was on my birthday, so I felt it was meant to be. Ah, Hanged Man. Yeah, so it's worth a shot for £18. And I quite like pre-loved decks. I really like the Sun card. That speaks to me. I like that. So I got that from Tarot Plus. And you can buy online. And they'd got a huge collection. Probably the largest collection of tarot decks that I've seen outside of London. Even more than Curious Goods. You know, there's 3 walls full of tarot decks. The vlog will be up tomorrow. I've got to edit it and put it all together, but in that vlog I show the shop, a little bit of the shop, so you'll be able to check it out. But yeah, they do online as well, so and everything that you would imagine is in there. So Sandra and I saw the new Llewellyn and she was like, I don't like it, I prefer the original, I need to get the original, but now it's going to be out of print. And they had it in, it was second hand, cards are in mint condition though, they weren't in order, so I sat in Georgian Pilgrim and put it in order for her. So yeah, they've got pretty much they have pretty much everything. Thank you, Thace. So yeah, hi Martin. So I'd messaged Sandra saying, hurry up and get here. I've already bought 2 decks in the first 10 minutes of being in a shop. And then I went to the Goddess Temple shop and I said to myself, every year I go in the Goddess Temple shop, I pick up the Weaver's Oracle. and I and ah, and I put it back. And then before coming to Glastonbury, I thought, if the Goddess Temple shops, that's the only place I've seen it in Glastonbury. Well, anyway, actually, from a shop. If they've got it this year, I'm just going to buy it and tell with it, just get it. And they did. So, now, a bit of a tale about this deck. I had it once and fell out with it. Hi, Adam. And gave it away and regretted it. So it comes in a bag. The book is great, but it was very much written to a female audience, which is fine. It's absolutely fine. But when I'm reading something and then it said something in here like, so speaking to you, dear sisters who are reading this, and I'm like, well, you know, your audience is more than one gender. But I thought, do you know what? I can overlook that. I can overlook it. Got some extra little bits in. But the artwork on this deck is phenomenal. Simon goes out on some unsupervised, buy three decks before breakfast. Oh, I'd had breakfast, just. Hope you're okay now you're home, Simon. The Weavers is one of my soul decks. Wow. That's cool. I have heard you talk about Weavers before, but yeah, just beautiful, beautiful artwork in this deck. These are the backs. Nice quality. And you know, it's indie, so it's nice that they stock it as well. It's on lovely matte cardstock. So I won't show them all, but I'm glad to have it back in my collection. I just got Lux Tarot and Dream Dust Shamanic Tarot this week, loving them. I love all of Caroline's work and her music too. Cool. I haven't heard her music. Oh, I might have done and not realised. I'll have to check it out. So, Weaver's Oracle back in my collection after probably 8 years, maybe more. And then the other decks is I went into Enlightenment and I wanted to get a larger Thoth deck, and I was looking for the AGM one, and then we were looking and I noticed they'd got the green US Games one, which is the larger size. So and it wasn't a bad price, it was $28.99. So I thought, oh, I'll get this instead then. And then I looked it up and I was like, I should have got the other one because the other one looked more saturated. So today I went back and I got the deck that is by AGM Urania. So I might do a comparison video showing these if people want to see it side by side and my thoughts on the two versions that, you know, I suppose are readily available. I thought this one had gone out of print and this was the newest one, but they were both there on the shop shelf side by side. I'd love to see the original Thoth deck revamped with gilding, rigid box, etc. You going to trim one? No, because I've got a trimmed Thoth that I bought trimmed from Mate Playing Cards. So I won't have to have that hassle. And I actually prefer it trimmed. I don't tend to use it much, but yes, for the side by side, okay. And Adam, I let it go. somebody had gifted me some decks and I gifted some in return, and one of them was I think it was called the Millennial Thoth, which was gold gilded and really lovely. So yeah, so I got those because I have this one in the smaller size. I got that from Glastonbury last year from the same shop. So I went into that same shop because I knew they'd got all 3 sizes, because they have the mini as well. Simon, when you messaged Sandra to hurry up because you had already brought 2 decks, she was supposed to come restrain you, enable you, or help you carry them if you brought too many to carry. Yeah, Sandra's never gonna be able to restrain me because she's just as bad. Yes, so that's that. And then where is it? Don't want to get things. I want to mention, whilst we're talking about decks as well, very naughty of them, but we met up with Jack from Jack's Greenwood Tarot and his lovely partner Bella, and we had a lovely couple of hours together. The time just flew. I think we met at about 11 this morning, and we went to 100 Monkeys, and before we knew it, it was almost 1 o'clock for Sandra's appointment that turned out to not happen anyway. And we had some photographs together and that sort of thing. And then just as I was going, he said, I've got you a gift, which was totally unexpected and really, really kind. But there was and I've had a look, Jack, so I know what it is. There's a lovely card in there, and that reminded me of Major Oak. So, and then, yeah, he put some kind words in there, which was nice. And there was a spray, which is a Glastonbury or Avalon Florida water, Agua de Florida de Avalon, and it smells amazing. It's a beautiful Florida water scent. You can smell the lavender, and oh, it's beautiful. So I'll use that on my sacred space tomorrow, because I've got a few bits that are going to revamp my sacred space. But so naughty of them. They gave me this, which is the Tarot of the Crystal World. And we sat talking, and Jack asked if we'd heard of this deck. And I was like, I'm not sure if I have. And when I opened it and had a look, some of the images were familiar. So I was like, do you know, I have, and it's beautiful. Look at the artwork. It's gorgeous. A really gorgeous deck. It's linen cardstock. It's got the most amazing feel. Look at the strength. The Hermit. So I was like, wow. And Jack and Bella, you really didn't need to do that. That was just so kind. And then inside the card was the oracle that accompanies it. Same building, same linen cardstock. Look at this. Isn't it stunning? Oh, the Crystal World is total rebel underdog, such a brilliant alternative deck. Have I frozen? Because on my iPad I'd frozen. Is it? internet connection issues. It looks like I've gone off. Yeah. Let's hopefully it'll come back on. Breaking up. I don't know what's the reason would be for that. Am I back properly? No, it keeps looking at what you guys are seeing. I'm frozen, and then every so often it blanks out. Let me know if I come back. Let me. How annoying. The sound is back now. That's no good though, is it? What's happening with the internet? I wonder if I should start it and then come back. The visual is gone. We're not back. I'm not sitting very still, Niels. It's that high energy vibe from Glastonbury. It's crashing your Wi-Fi. I think I might be back. Visual is back, image is back, you're back. Let's keep everything crossed that is it. Anyway, did you see the Oracle deck? So thank you, Jack and Bella. That was just really, really unexpected and incredibly kind of you. Really appreciate it. The other thing is, in Star Child, they've started selling these bottles for, you know, making your own waters and that sort of thing. So I've got a label maker, and I thought, well, I will buy a couple of these. This one, I've just put at the bottom CW, so I know. This is Chalice Well Red Spring water. So when we went to the Chalice Well yesterday, I filled that, and then this one is White Spring, and this is the, I mean, you can drink that one, but this one, I got a big bottle of it because I'm going to add it to things like my teas and things like that, but it's, oh, that's filled right to the brim. Oh, bring back the taste of Glastonbury. So White Spring water. Chalice Well I use for cleansing things. I've also got a bottle, a spray thing that I can put Chalice Well water in and spritz. But yeah, so I got them, and they were ever so cheap. I think this bottle was, it tells me underneath, £3.65, and it's a huge bottle. It reminds me of those old medicine bottles in chemists. This one was £1.95, and then there was a smaller one which was 95p, and Sandra got 2 of them for hers, but I wanted a lot of the Weighton though, and that was what was weighing down the suitcase as well, and the candles. Thank you. So, talking of candles, let's do this. Now, a little bit disappointed because Star Child have either didn't have any in stock or stopped doing, you know, the frothy candles that are chunky. I usually get 3 or 4 of them to try and last the year, but they didn't have them this time. And there wasn't a space for them. You know, if they sell out, you normally have your shelf label and you can see bootleg whiskey. You can see it's, you know, it's just run out because there's the space. wasn't. All the spaces were filled with other things. So I thought, oh, they must have stopped doing them. I'm hoping they don't stop doing the regular frothy candles. But I was able to get a couple more of my favourite yellow and black ones. And they burn beautifully. And I've got one that's on the go here. I mean, look at that. So I'm almost out of the yellow parts that's burned down. And then, I mean, they're so tall and chunky. The burn for, I don't know if it tells you on here, I think, but it's a, yeah, no, it doesn't say. I think it must have said in the shop, but they burn for forever. So I know I like the combination of the yellow and black. So that's why I bought 2 of them. I bought 2 of them last year. But I thought I'd also try a red and a blue one. Now, they are linked to astrology. So this one, no, they're not. Yeah, well, Scorpio. And this one is Aquarius, but I just like the colours. So I thought I'd try a red and a blue as well. And then so I got them the frothy candles. So I got, these are the regular, like a pinky purple, but the ones I'm on about that they don't do are the really chunky ones. I bet your house is a treasure trove of interesting trinkets as well as trillions of decks. Did you buy lots of decks? Oh, you've missed the deck section, Adam. I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. These ones are white. I think I've got white, black and green. So these are the white ones with purple on the inside. They burn beautifully as well. And I've got those candles every time. Love their frothies. They're great, aren't they? Every time I go to Glastonbury, I get some frothies. And they're not that expensive. Yeah, and then green ones. £1 something, I think, or £2, £1.95, something like that, I think. They're not that expensive, really. Although by the time I'd done in there, I think I'd spent about £80 in Star Child with the bottles and the big candles, and I got some beeswax candles. These are just the ones where the wicks join together. But I love the way beeswax burns, and I thought that would go nice in the one that's on my desk. There's nothing like a beeswax candle. And then I just got a big pillar candle in black, because the nice thing about Star Child, their candles are solid. Whereas if I was to get a candle like this in town, downstairs, it will be black on the outside and white on the inside. And these aren't. They have a sign up saying that our candles are, you know, the same all the way through. So I got a black candle in Star Child. There's something else in here. Oh, I got some herbs. Yes, this one is beautiful. This is the Samhain one. That's like stepping through the door of Star Child. Look at that. Amazing. So I'm going to put them back in the bag because they're heavy. Do the colours of the candles mean anything? Well, yeah, I mean, there's candle magic. If you're into candle magic, then all the colours for candles represent different things. I don't do much candle magic. I have previously kind of tampered, is that the right word? Not tampered. Played around with candle magic, but never anything too I've not studied it in any great depth. Oh, look at that. I mean, that weighs a ton. And with those bottles, you can see why I can get this thing up the stairs. I'm just now going to grab bags as they come, and we'll just see what's in them. So, a little book on Druidry, also from Hollow Hills, £6. And it's Druidry, How to Connect Spirituality with the Land. And it's by Maria Eade Weaving. And they should give me a little bookmark, which says the Hollow Hills. You look so tanned. Yeah, well, it's been very hot. Sandra was really good and gave me some sun cream. This is from, now I went twice, so there might be 2 bags, but this is from Sons of Asgard. Do check them out on social media. They also have free courses they were saying that people could sign up to. So I got some smudge in a tin, which is temple sage. You have to be careful with this, and they ask you in the shop not to take the lid off and smell it because it's very, very delicate. Oh gosh, that's beautiful. The temple sage smudge in a tin, and they hand make everything. And then I got Coven. So I bought some of these last year, and I don't think they had Coven. I've got Temple and Ritual, which are my favourites, but Coven smells amazing. So these are great herbs. And Dreamweaver. Never had this one before, and it smelled nice. Oh yeah, that smells really good. So that's Dreamweaver. And these are £6, as you can see, so really good value. I did buy one of they've started changing their candles into these tins rather than jars. And this one is the All Hallows. It's a soy wax candle, and All Hallows is gorgeous. I've had it many times from there. I don't want to bend my pen knife, but here we go. Yeah. Oh, that smell. Amazing. I wish you guys could smell what I'm smelling. And then, was that from there? No, that wasn't from there. I've just popped it in the bag. I forgot where this was, but it's a paint. Oh, this was from White Rabbit. They do a lot of painted stones in there, and I like this one because I love purple and gold as a colour combination, and it's Arwen symbol. So yeah, just really nice. And then there's something wrapped. This is my receipt from Sons of Asgard. Coven, Dreamweaver, Triple Sage Smudge Tin, All Hallows Candle. Oh, yes. Of course, I know what this is now. So, this is my travel goddess. I want to do more stuff out in nature, and I want to put together a little pouch. I've already got the pouch, actually. And I just want a candle in like a little jar or tin, so it doesn't set fire to anything, and a goddess and some incense, and just do some rituals out in nature. Sandra and I watched a documentary last night about paganism in the UK, and the guy on there did something quite similar, and I was like, yeah, this is what I've been thinking. Your Virgo rising makes you an expert in all these candles, potions, smellies, crystals. You'll have a good taste in finding what's best for you. Thank you. I'm flying to the UK tomorrow. Need to do my hippie shops tour too. Are you going to Glastonbury, Ellen? That would be cool. Have a safe trip tomorrow to the UK. So Simon, I'm just home. Oh, hello, Lily Rose. Oh, this is wrapped so well, but as you'd expect. But yeah, my earth goddess for outdoor ritual work. She's a beauty. So this is the back of her look. Isn't that gorgeous? And there she is. So she sits like that. And she feels dead. It feels really chalky. Oh, beautiful. Love her. So I'm going to put them all back together so I don't get mixed up. Hi Judy, nice to see you. How do I know what I've done and what I haven't done? Let's just put that there. Okay, next bag. This is stuff. This is kind of like incense. I had to chuckle because I went in Star Child again today just to get a bowl that I wanted to get, and I didn't want to carry it around, so I left it till the last minute. And then she says, would you like a canvas bag? I think she said they were £3. I've got such a stash now of canvas bags. But I said, go on then. And she went, look, isn't it beautiful? I said, yes. And then she went, recycled cotton too. And showed me the label. I was like, oh, lovely, thank you. Just makes me smile how people are. So I've got an empty bag. Not sure how that's happened, but anyway. Incense that I bought this trip are, I always go to, oh gosh, what is it called? Yin and Yang. Sandra would know, I think it was Yin and Yang. And I got this one. I always get Ganesh and Om because they're my two favourite in the Mother India, the Mother's India's fragrance. Those two are lovely. If ever I see Nitri Raj, I know it's expensive, but probably the best incense out there. I think this was £6, and you don't get a lot, but it's worth it. And then these ones Sandra always picks up, and she looks for the Egyptian musk. So, and they're really long, they burn for a long time, so you can cut the stick. So I've got, this is from Art of Africa. So I got the Egyptian musk. They didn't have the the black coconut is really popular apparently, and it sells out quite quick. So I've got a black coconut, and they do smell amazing. And then an opium. So, and then the only other one I got was from the Chaliswell Gardens. So when we went to the Chalice Well, they've got the super duper temple spice. Now this is £11, but it's they're really long sticks, and they are temple grade, and looked really lovely. So I'll show you them. And Sandra picked up a box as well, I think. And then in Star Child, I know, and Sandra said, why don't we see if a member of staff will help? But then I wouldn't be able to get it back down again in the morning because I was leaving at 6. Before all this, when we checked in, I said, oh, how do I get out in the morning? Because I'm going to be leaving really early. And he says, how early? I said 6. He said, yeah, no staff will be in by then. So you'd have to go out the door. It's like a fire exit door at the back. He said, but once you're out there, you won't be able to get back in. So they would have helped me get it up, but I wouldn't have been able to get it down in the morning. And going downstairs, down a spiral staircase with that weight, it wouldn't have ended well. because Chris and John also offered to help get it up. But so if you remember last year, I bought the plate version of this, and then I want this to put my frothy candles in. I love how rustic their things are. I got the I bought this one from them a couple of years ago, the kiln oven oil burner. This was on display and they weren't going to sell it me but they didn't have any. And when I seen the new one, they looked like this, but I was like, no, I love how worn and used that is. And they did sell it me. They asked permission and they got permission to sell it me because it was the only one they had. So yeah, this is to have on my desk and put candles in. So I'm going to pop that back in and the incense back in, and then I can sort that out later. So it's always good to get supplies, isn't it? So that's that. And then there's a bag here. This was today's purchase. Probably the last purchase. Look at that. So this is the gravel puff. They've got all different colours. It's a clay face with a crystal that's attached to them, but it just made me smile. So I've got a gravel puff. I looked at them last year and didn't get one. And then this was from the Witch's Cauldron, I think it's called. How cute. I might end up buying all of Glastonbury if I go there. Oh yeah, so they had some black salt. I normally get my black salt from Sons of Asgard, but they didn't have any in. And this is Malthusia's Cauldron. Black protective witch's salt. So some black salt. I have got a little bit left of the black salt from Sons of Asgard last year. What they put in. Betty Janeway, Psychic Medium. So it's just some advertisements. Yeah, the Witch's Cave. Sorry, not the Witch's Cauldron. The Witch's Cave, High Street in Glastonbury. And giving the same thing again. You know, just saved. Oh, and this is the spoon that I bought for the salt and for something else, which I'm going to show you in a minute. A little crystal, quite a nice little spoon. Love to get some salt like that. I never think about getting these kind of things. Give Gravel Puff a name, Simon. Or you guys could name them for me. I have another. Oh no. All will be revealed. Why that's in a separate bag, I'll never know. What's this? Tarot decks. Oh, this is Tarot Plus. The one that I was telling you about that has 3 walls full of decks. In fact, that's inside the shop. Just one of the corners. It comes all the way down this wall as well. But it's a Tarot Plus. And it's good that they put things in like that because I always give them a shout out. There was a lovely lady who's only just opened a shop on the Gauntlet, and I said I would give her a shout out. In fact, while we're talking about her, this is what I bought from her. And this is for my desk, and I'll show you why. I hope it's survived. It's very delicate. I think it does. She's wrapped it well, really well. Please tell me she's put a card in. Yep, she has. So check out, it's nature preserved. And this is her shop this is the gauntlet that runs from the high street right up to the car park where I parked my car at the back of the Georgian Pilgrim. And she's only just opened, so do check her out. She does taxidermy as well, and she's got a sign up saying everything came to its natural end, and she's given them a new lease of life. But she's got all sorts of wonderful things in there. And I went in one day and I really liked this, but I didn't want to carry it around, so I took a photograph of it, which is a cool little tip if you're ever unsure and you think, because very often we would say, oh yeah, I'll come back and I'll get it, and then you forget, and you get back home and you think, oh, I never did go back and get that. So now I take a photograph, and it looks like Coronation Street. But look at this is beautiful. So it's got a skull, because she's got all different kind of skulls and bones and things like that. But I have a little god and goddess that is going to go on this, but it's gorgeous. And she makes everything by hand. And like I say, brand new business. So I wish her all the best. I think she's only been open a month or something like that. Might not even be that long. So I'd love to visit Glastonbury. Yeah, it's hard to get to. I mean, if you can get to Bristol, I believe there's a bus that leaves every hour or so from Bristol to Glastonbury. It doesn't have a train station anymore. It was one of those that got, when they shut loads of railway stations here, that was one that went. What is in this? Oh, yes. So this was from White Rabbit, and it was quite inexpensive, but I liked it. So I bought this bowl to put sand in and tea light and incense in the closing down sale from Sausage and Granny, but it's not really working out. Then I saw this coconut bowl, and it's very rustic looking, and I thought it will match with everything, like my god and goddess and things like that. So, and it wasn't expensive at all. I liked the odd shape of it, and I thought, well, I'll use that to put sand in, tea light, and me incense sticks in. So yeah, I used to visit Bristol a lot for an ex-boyfriend, our midway meeting spot. I want to order from Philippa Bowers. Do you know how long delivery would take to that London? I don't know how long it would take. I want to imagine it would be that long, with it being, you know, within the UK. But yeah. Okay. So I'm going to put some things. I've got a big empty bag now, so I'm going to put a few things into that. Gosh, have I been on an hour already? Flipping heck. Need to speed this up. What's in this bag? I love that you get all these little extra bits. Goddess temple gifts. Oh. Well, firstly, look at this. Beautiful tarot pouch from the, what's the name of the garden? My mind's gone blank. Chalice Well. And look at that. It's got the Chalice Well, Vesica Pisces. And it's quite deep because the bottom folds out. But I just thought it was really beautiful. So I'll have to think of a special deck to go in there. It was quite expensive. It was £24, but it's handmade, well, hand beaded, which I think is lovely. So that's that. We buy books, courtyard books. I don't know why that. Are these Sons of Asgard? Yes. So these are from Sons of Asgard. So I went back on a second day. I knew you'd get a pouch, Simon, call me psychic. I almost bought another pouch in Dandelion Dreams, but I didn't. What? Oh no, these are Dandelion Dreams, but they're also in Sons of Asgard stuff. The Dandelion Dreams, yeah, I just bought a few little knickknacks in there. I love to support that shop. Dandelion is a lovely person, and they're just so friendly in that shop. And it's incredible because obviously me and Sandra stand out like a sore thumb, because we walk in and I'll be like, oh, hello again, it's lovely to see you. And he's one of them that just remembers you. And I think, how many people must go through that shop, but they remember you. So I got a Witch's Rune dice, and I just thought it was great. It's not perfectly square, just really nice. So I got that. He wraps everything individually. It must take forever, but they're very used to it. Half the things I've forgotten, you know, so it's like special all over again. Oh yes, love the colours. So he said these are brand new in. He was like, where'd you get this? It was his shop, but he has other people working there. And he says that it's all they're new, but I really liked her green colours. So that's just for my desk. And these, like I say, just little trinklements. Hi, Kay. And then I got, so have you seen on my desk, on my table, I've got a representation of each of the elements. So I've got, and what I bought is a beautiful pentacle, because I've got a cup and I have a wand, and reaching behind the laptop, I have a sword. So the pentacle I'd got is a tiny one, and these are all quite big, so I think they go better together now. So yeah. Gosh, what am I like? So I really like the colours of that as well. Sparkles. Cute sword. Well, they're the hardest to get to represent, do you know what I mean? And then this is just a little bowl. I really liked it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but again, it's very rustic, which I like. But look at the inside. So it might be a little offering bowl, because my god and goddess, which I got, well, I got the god last year, which I have on my desk, and the goddess are also in this kind of rough pottery. So maybe they can have a little, that actually goes really well. They can have a little offering bowl in front of them. Why not, eh? So I'm going to put that there so I don't forget that that's what it's for. Now, yes, so second trip to Sons of Asgard. I got a couple of magic sprays. So I got Lord of the Forest, which is the best ever. Just spray that right into my face. Oh, that. I've got one of these in my office at work and I spray it. People come in and say, oh, it smells lovely in here. And then I got the Blue Lotus. I've been trying to get some of their Violet Flame, but as soon as it comes in, it sells out. So the chance of me ever picking it up. And then, so yeah, check them out. Sons of Asgard, amazing. Apothecary stuff and ceramics, and what they haven't got isn't worth knowing. So when I got this is going to be a center point of my reading space. So sitting on that, and I love the colours of these. They've got all different colours. I have the God, and they weren't too expensive. These were 25, and it's got gold embellishments. And then the Goddess version. Oh. They look really good together. I think so. The little offering bowls, yeah, be perfect for them. And then the Goddess version. So they will sit nicely side by side. I'll just put them on. But if I show you now, I risk them toppling off. But you'll see them in the video, because unless I can shift you sideways, there they are, look, on the little space. Whoops, chopped half my head off. So true, Adam. It must be hard to buy decks for Simon with the epic collection he has. All right, we're getting there. I think this is just, yeah, this is wild white sage. I always buy it loose. I crush it up, sprinkle it, break it up, I should say, and put it into a burner, which is really nice. And these are like £5.50, and you get loads. I've only just got to the end, well, almost the end. I can see it on the side now. There's about that much left in it from when I went in October. So I got that. We're getting to the big ticket items, you'll be pleased to know. Oh, right, I've done that. That's already something I've done. Okay, yeah, we're done, I think, other than the big ticket items. So, on the market, do you remember mentioning yesterday? Got some Whitby Jet. Look at the size of that Whitby Jet, £3. You'd never get that for that price in Whitby itself. So yeah, some Whitby Jet, which I'll put out next to my Blue John. I'll save that for when we get to it. Getting that. I've got a bag full of rubbish. Okay, bigger things then. So, this, do you remember me telling you the story yesterday about when Sandra and I was live, about how Sandra's like, should we just nip out to the charity shop? And it cost me a fortune. This was one of the purchases, and that's what this is for. Any guesses? It's a drum, and it's a beautiful one. This one, it's got legs. You see the legs on it? But it comes in this beautiful carry case, which is really nice. And oh, you can't see it. And look how it sparkles. Gorgeous. On the motorway. What? Yeah, a drum. But And you can actually use, I've seen people use the fingers, and but beautiful sounds. So I got that because I bought a drum. Did you see the Lost on Ilkley Moor video? And I went to Hebden Bridge in the afternoon and I bought a drum, a vegan drum, and I've really enjoyed it. I've even taken it into work and used it with learners. But yeah, so that was nice, something a little bit different. And then let's stick with the musical stuff. This was on the market. I mentioned this last night in the live and I described it. I turned the corner, it was the very last stand, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then Sandra was still looking at crystals, and I went back round and said, Sandra, I've just seen something I really want to get, but it is an investment. And then she saw them and she was like, oh my God, I want to get one as well. These are gorgeous. So when you open it up, it tells you about the sacred Tor bowl. This is the ring that it sits on. And then look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? It's got the moon phases, it's got the Tor, and then on the back, it's got the chalice well design, and then it's got the triple moon here. So when you read inside the box, this is a beautiful box as well. It says, inspired by the spiritual landmarks of Glastonbury, the bowl represents cycles of the moon and the spiritual journey toward inner balance and connection. The Tor at the centre of the bowl, stands Glastonbury Tor, a symbol of pilgrimage and awakening. The sacred symbol beneath the bowl is inspired by the chalice well, representing the healing waters, harmony and divine balance. The triple goddess on the outside of the bowl represents the sacred feminine in her three aspects, maiden, mother and wise woman. So they're not saying crone, embodying the eternal cycles of life. Each bowl is handcrafted in Nepal using traditional methods and is chosen for its unique tone and resonance. May this bowl bring stillness, clarity and positive energy to your space. So you will have noticed, for however long you followed me, because I've done it since my first ever video, I always sound the bowl before I go live. I sound it every day anyway before readings, and I've got a little one from Japan at the moment, and I'm going to retire my crown chakra bowl because this is just beautiful. Hopefully we'll get to hear it. You're about to hear it. Yeah. So that's the donga. Just get the cellophane off it. Okay, there we go. Let's pop. We're going to pop that there for a second. Which bit do you want to see? Okay. Isn't that amazing? I've never had a bowl like this. The other one I've got is nice, it's smaller, but still going. Still. I don't know if you're still hearing it, but it's still going. And it's just stunning, and it'll just always remind me of Glastonbury, obviously. And you'll hear it in every video going forward. Okay, so 3 things left. Now, this is delicate, so I put it in a travel case. I'm just hoping it survived. you this in a second. Please be in one piece. She's very delicate, as is this, but it's been wrapped so well. Now, I bought one of these last year, so this isn't anything new, but I smashed it because I'm the clumsiest person on the planet. I'm just hoping 2 bags of incense sand. That might give it away. Oh, also, he gave us this book about the song, the steel drum, the tong drum, the first one. All right, so thankfully he wrapped it really, really well. Because last year when I bought it, it was somebody different and she didn't wrap it really well. But that's not the reason why it broke. The reason why it broke is because I'm clumsy and I knocked it off the table. So this is the base. Do you recognise it from last year? I've got a different one though. This is blue and gold. And these are called something ovens. But you put, these are from Fairyland Aquatics. Fairyland Aquatics, also on the high street. So this is the dish. So you put some sand. Actually, where's the spoon? Because the spoon tells you, unless you've popped it in. Spoon's here. So what he did, he measured it out and he gave me a little spoon and he put 2 lines on and he said, what you do is you put your incense sand, fill it up, you use this as a measure, pop it in. The first line is the minimum, the second line is the maximum. So that, then you put your tea light in the bottom here. You put your sand and your incense, so like all those little jars I showed you, and I break up some sage, and then you have happy birthday. Oh, Althea's birthday. Happy birthday, Althea. And then this is the funnel part. So once you've lit your candle, you've got your incense in there. You then put the lid on and that's the funnel where the smoke comes out of. It is very delicate and I kept thinking this is so delicate that the heat would make it crack, but it doesn't. It's incredible, particularly as it's going straight onto the glass of this. The flame more or less touches it, but it doesn't. And this is the nicest way for, because I find charcoal discs, although I've used a lot of them in the past, they're very smoky, where this is really subtle, but the whole room really smells divine when you've got one of these going. So that's that. Second to last thing to show you, this was from Wildwood, and I saw her name's Antoinette, before somebody says shall we name her. I'd break that in days. Well, mine lasted about 3 months before I smashed it. I'm just hoping if I put it somewhere, not because I had it on my desk area and it was nice, but then I wanted it closer to me, so I put it on my little table at the side where I sit on the sofa, and I went to lean back to turn the lamp off and I knocked it. Denise, yeah, back next year. Oh, please tell me this has survived. Yes, I think so. So I saw her in the window of Wildwood and I was like, oh my gosh, look, Sandra. She was like, oh, that's brilliant. Are you going to get it? I said, I don't know. It's a lot of money. I'll wait. And so these last 3 things, the bowl, not so much that glass, the bowl, this and the last thing I'm going to show you was the most expensive. But she really spoke to me. I took a photograph and I said, I'll see, I might get her on the last day if I've got money left. But her name's Antoinette. Look at her. She's for my sacred space. And her name is Antoinette. Oh, and it's showing the price. Yeah, it was £111. But her garments, everything, her tiny little hands, it's a skull, a bird skull, obviously. But she was just in the window, and every time I went past, I was like, someone's going to buy her. Someone's going to buy her, I know it. There was two. There was one in a red robe as well, but this Antoinette really spoke to me. So I went and I got it, and the woman's in the shop. When I picked it up, she went, yes, I'm really glad you're taking her home. And then she said, if you want to get the other one, I'll knock £22 off and you can have them both 200. But I was like, I can't do that. This one speaks to me and I can't justify £200. Love Antoinette. I think she's worth every penny. Antoinette means business. She's a diva on a mission. Is that a raven? I'm not sure of the skull. I'm not sure. But yeah, she's a beauty, isn't she? She seems like a raven. Okay. So the last thing to show you, and then I've been on for, wow, nearly an hour and a half. I want Antoinette to come live with me. Kathy, it's funny you say that because I thought yesterday, no, it was this morning, I watched your video while Sandra was getting ready, and you showed the puppets and a few bits that you'd got. You shown the Chromatica Tarot, that video. Check it out, everyone. And I thought to myself, Antoinette would be right at home in Kathy's emporium, in your little curiosity shop. But yeah. Okay, so last year, don't know if you remember, I bought from Wild Raven. Not Wild Raven. I always get mixed up. Something Raven, not Wild though. But anyway, that shop, I bought this set of 3 drawers, and I bought a box that had the Owen symbol on the top. I wanted something. I've been looking for like slats to put decks in, you know, my most used decks. This isn't slats, but this is my big ticket item. So it's not going to fit in, and I tried to take a photograph and upload it, but it's got the goddess at the top, then it's got the triple goddess in the middle, it's got the elements represented, and then it has 2 drawers at the bottom. But this will give me 3, 6, 9, 12 decks to have out, that it will sit here against the wall and I can just grab the decks that I want. But the guys, now he's got his own business, and I forgot what it's called now. He hand makes all of these and he sells them from the shop. So she brings them in separately because it doesn't go to her shop, it goes to him, and he's got an online business. So if I remember, I'll look it up and I'll put it in the description, because he does mail order as well. But these are and this is so heavy, really sturdy piece. And it's just what I wanted, what I was looking for. And we looked online before we went in the shop, and I said, oh, I hope they've got something like that, because that's brilliant. And when I went in, it was there, and I said, this is it, I've got to get it. So I did. So tomorrow is going to be fun, because tomorrow I'm going to put everything into its place and rearrange things and update my sacred space, my altar over there, my reading space. Antoinette needs to find her place on my space. But yeah, so that's the Glastonbury Haul 2026. It's been an amazing 4 days. I've loved it. Always enjoy going. I think we're going to probably go in May, the May bank holiday week next year. Just try a different time of the year, because we've been in the summer holidays 3 times and we've been at Samhain 4 times. The first time I ever went was for Frost Fair, which was in November, December. It was very cold. So we thought we might try and go in spring. Are you getting rid of anything? I've only just bought it. No wonder you're having trouble lugging your luggage. Yeah, right. She needs a special place. She's having a special place. She might go at the side of my black mirror, actually, in the centre of my altar. But yeah. But anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. I'll now go back to the beginning of the live. Yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here again for another year. And I will see you all very, very soon. I'm gonna have an early night because I'm knackered after all that driving. But yeah, until next time, guys, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.